English, okay. Then I think I press next. What I'm going to do is pin that has, if I can get over here, that has the, before they got into Apple, it has that little rubbery tip on it that is supposed to imprint like your finger. But these, actually, I find for touchscreens are easier than using your finger. So I use one of these. I have a couple different ones. They would come now as novelty gifts from different places I went for pins. So now I can press more easily on the next button. And then it takes a couple taps. But now I'm trying to do this while recording for you guys. So let's see, North America. And then next, my Wi-Fi. Now, because I'm having an issue, one of my Eero routers, I'm not sure if it'll connect all the way to the living room and find the right network for, we'll see if it finds the right network or not. Right network, although I'll put you on pause when I put in my password and everything probably. Okay, so I'm going to put you on pause while I type in the password. Okay, so it won't connect because it's too far from the router. So, back, and yay, I finally got it connected. I had to move my Eero in my living room, not very far away, but I have plaster walls. It's a house built in 1927. So it's coming up on almost a 100-year-old house. So that's pretty amazing. So anyway, I moved it maybe a foot and a half from where it was in my living room next to my TCL TV. Yay, I got it connected to my Treetops network. So I'm going to see what the next step is. Back. I selected Treetops as my network. And now it wants me to import it, put it in again. So I'll put you on pause again. Show you this is the code. But I'm going to have to put you on pause so I can accept the code in my camera software for the iPhone 16 Pro Max and then come back to you. But then I guess it took too long to enter my password or something, but it wouldn't connect. So it might be just that it's intermittent, the connection out to the living room right now. So that might be the issue as well, but I'll put you on pause again. Now you can see what it says. Region North America, scan the QR code to log into the printer in the Bambu Handy app. Tap devices and then the plus sign, minus sign, it shows, and then scan the QR code. So I'm on my iPad. I can shut this so I don't break the front door. In the iPad app, I'm going to, I just showed a little bit of it, but I'm going to leave the screen as is so you can see the screen. See if I can figure out bind your printer, start printing. So if I want to bind printer, Bambu Labs and Make Your World account, I'm going to put in my information on my iPad. I agree to all the stuff. I'm going to sign in. Okay, verification code. So I'm copying the verification code, copy. Then I want to go back to the Bambu Labs app, and I want to allow paste. Then click Go On, Devices. Okay, now I did that part. Now I have to get to either scanning the code, or let's see if I can now scan the code with my camera. Okay, I guess I had to bind the printer first, then scan the code. I thought I could just scan the code first. Confirm to combine. So I put in all my information on the app, which is the handy app on my iPad or iPhone. And then once I fill that out, then I can scan the code. These are things that people don't tell you in other YouTube videos. But the videos go very fast and look hip and great. And they give you good information. I'm not saying anything like that. But I am saying they just don't cover the kind of stuff I like to cover, and the kind of stuff that we all as newbies, and I don't consider myself a newbie other than a newbie on setting this particular printer up. I'm not a newbie in 3D printing, but I would say on this part I'm going like I am a newbie, figuring out how Bambu wants to do things, opposed to Marlin or Clipper, which I tried to install, etc., etc. So confirm to combine. So now it's working and trying to combining. So in the app, this is the app. I don't want to zoom out or anything because I have it set up for the screen correctly. So even though you can't read it very well, I don't want to try to zoom out or readjust my camera. So now it's still binding, bind timed out, confirm. Let's hope it'll work. Again, my network, it's kind of iffy on whether my network will work or not. I got it to connect, but maybe it won't bind the two together. I'm going to try it a few more times. If I need be, I'll just put you on pause and see if I can, what people would call jerry-rigging, but is kind of like moving something another inch or two one way or another, might get it to work if it's not connecting. Right now, I can't tell if it's connecting or not the printer to the Wi-Fi. I guess I can look in the Eero app to figure that out. I'm trying to bind for the third time. I'm thinking it's not the Bambu Labs fault, and it's probably just that I'm not close enough to my Wi-Fi for it to get a good solid signal. When I get my replacement Eero, because I have Sonic Internet, very fast, 1 gigabit, and even over my iPads, because these are new ones, binding timed out, I get between anywhere from 750 to 950 megabits per second, and that's really fast over Wi-Fi. You don't expect that fast, but the Eeros I have are the Eero 6E Pros. So I have 2 of those that I'm renting for only $10 a piece. So that's $20 extra a month. And that's really nice. Normally they would cost, for the whole system, for 2 or 3 of them, would cost about $500-600, which is pretty expensive. But then again, the tech support's pretty good. I think since Amazon took them over, the tech support has gone way down. That used to be really high quality tech support, but Amazon wanted to use the third party type tech support, which we know that never is very good. So anyway, I'm going to put you on pause and see if I can get this connected. Then I'll come back for the rest of the installation. Well, it says login unsuccessful, as you can see. But then on here, if you can see, it says there's the printer name, and then it says, shows the printer and the confirmation. So I'm just going to go ahead. I had to go back a screen and have it redo it. I guess I was just taking too long, but I don't know what this login unsuccessful message is, but I'll worry about that if I need to. Maybe I just took too long also and I need to re-log in. But at least it accepted that part. And then let's hit next. And then it says, thank you for purchasing. As you can see, all blah, blah, blah. And then I agree. We kindly request your help to improve everyone's printing. And I would say join. Sometimes you don't want to join, and it's up to you. You can skip, so if you think people are going to break into your network, then don't join. But I really want to help improve the printer, and I'll take my chances on whether they break into the Eero. The Eero is good because it gets a lot of updates and everything. So they just had another update to work better with the Eero 7s or something. So I just updated. I'm not as concerned on whether somebody breaks in. Usually they'll break into somebody that's a high profile person, but it can happen. So it's up to you on what you do there. But I'm going to say join because I'm on the betas. I'm on the beta for the iPhone and iPad. You know, I like to help out beta on my Shape R 3D software for the iPad because I want them to improve it, and I want to be able to suggest improvements to them. And someone like Shape R 3D, the company, they really listen to you. So unlike other companies that are too big to really listen to you, they really listen to you, and they'll tell you yes or no whether they think they have it on their list sometimes. Same thing with my video editing software. So then there's this. So what does it say? The printer needs to calibrate the current environment. Okay, up, down. Okay, let's see if it does that. And then continue. Okay, now if I open the door, this on the Handy app, it asks me whether to allow. So it's 2%, 3%. Done. It's doing all its thing. It's raising the bed now. Pin here. And I'm going to say new firmware, so I'm going to say yes. And then let's see, I'm going to say, okay, do I want to update? And you can see, what is it, 06.7407040, and then update. Are you sure? Yes. Okay, now we're going to watch the paint dry, as the saying goes, and it's downloading, crossing my fingers and knocking on wood that it remains stable, my internet connection, and this updated. You don't want an update for any product, you don't want it to fail, because if it fails, then maybe, I don't know, but maybe there's a chance that you can recover. But a lot of times it may brick the whole thing, and you'll be AOL, SOL, and having to send the printer back. I would rather not have to send the printer back. But I do want all the latest software on it. So by any device like this, like a printer over the internet and is an all-in-one, or other devices like modems and routers, the first thing you do after you set it up is to download the latest software update. That will help a lot of issues for software updates. Occasionally a software update will be buggy, but generally you want to do the software update. Some people want to wait a little bit on iOS and iPad software updates. And I may just, so I can get something to eat and drink, I might just put you on pause, and then when it gets about 90% done, I may just video another 90% and show you. But right now, this is the system. This is my Mac, special Mac desk, which, and this part down here, this is a table I had my brother help me make. He has a small workshop at his house around the corner from where I live. So he helped me build this table. So then I have adjustable feet under there. So then I can make sure that that table, the first thing you want to do is make sure your workbench or your workspace table is completely level. And I have, which I can maybe show you, this is one of my 2 levels. And this is a nice heavy duty, which it has magnets up here. And this heavy duty, so you can see, I don't know if you can, but it'll show the level. So when it gets to about right there, it's completely in level. And I go 3 places along there, and then 3 places along here on the bed, and make sure it's completely level. Because what you want in 3D printing is to get that level first. If that's not level, nothing else is going to really be consistent. And you're going to just be pulling your hair out, wondering why your prints aren't sticking to your bed. I found over time of having 3D printers, and I made a separate video on it, you need your bed completely level. That's the bed of the printer. Then you need what the printer is sitting on, whatever you would call that. I call it a table, but they call it something else as well. There's another term for it. You need that completely level first. Then the bed of the printer, the frame of the printer completely level. Then the bed of the printer completely level, which is this right here, which is, this is the bed. So that has to be completely level and harder to do on a bed slinger. My other printer is a bed slinger. So this frame of like my bed slinger has to be completely square. So you can square it by using a level, and I do the level to square it up. Or if you have what is called a T-square, a small one, then you can put the T-square up. I'm trying to do my hand showing up like a right angle, and then it will, that'll help you find out if your frame's level. One of my printers, my frame wasn't level, and then it just made for everything just crappy and not consistent. I got a few months out of it working, but it just was crappy. So that's one thing. So you want your bed to be, your frame to be completely level. Then make sure your bed is completely level. And I show off in my other video, but these little things and these are made out of ABS plastic with a metal sleeve inside. Some of the other ones you get off Amazon are ABS plastic with no metal sleeve in here. Now what this does is this replaces your springs in your, not Cartesian, but it's the bed slinger printers. Now, if you put these in the place of the springs, you can tighten down your knobs for the springs all the way down until they're as tight as it'll go on here. And then if the bed's completely level and the frame's true and level, then you'll never have to deal with the springs again. All you'll have to do is whatever leveling probe you have on your bed slinger, you will be able to use that for any precise measurements of out of alignment bed. But it should be mostly level, the bed, if you've done all the work that I described. And then these were a godsend to replace the springs. That was one thing I would be leveling with the springs, then the paper method, and then to get everything to work correctly, to get it to lay down. Now I can get filament to lay down the first layer, and it just barely sticks to the bed. But because my bed at one time was, and I go through stints where it isn't level and where it is level, but when it was completely level, I had a stint to where I would get print after print after print that really worked well because my bed was completely level. I didn't have to use all the hairspray, the glue sticks, everything to try to get the filament to stick to the bed because my bed was almost 99.9% perfectly level. So if you can do that, you're going to have more luck. Then if you want to use glue stick and other stuff, you can try that on top of it. But that's all I wanted to say. And now I'm going to put you on pause since it's still only at about 12%. And I will come back in maybe another half an hour when it gets finished. I am back, and let's see. A new firmware update has been detected. Would you like to update? Would you like to go to the update page? Yes. Firmware has been updated to version 01.07.05.00. So motor noise cancellation is added to our latest firmware. Run a calibration process to enable this new feature. About 15 minutes. And what I would say is try it now. And best leveling, let's see if I can zoom in again on it for you. Okay, so you can see what it says on the screen. And motor, all the stuff, and it says start calibration. So now I'm going to bring you back so we can watch the calibration process. I know how to do the camera settings. Maybe I can just take it off the camera and have it opposed to having the iPhone. The iPhone's low on battery, so I'm not sure how long it'll record. But now it's basically going to go through another calibration process. So basically what it did initially. But it's supposed to be quieter. So not that I know exactly what it's doing at the moment. So let's hope it's doing something. Cleaning nozzle tip. Then homing tool head. Then calibrating the micro LiDAR. So maybe it's doing the micro LiDAR right now. So I'll let it go for a little bit and see. Okay, there you go. It probably was in the LiDAR test. So okay, so we're just seeing what it's doing. It is calibrating something. Oh, it says it's at auto bed leveling stage. And I have to find out to make sure I have the, it seems to be fit in the right place so it's not catching on anything. But I have to find out if I actually put the build plate on correctly, front to back correctly. It kind of looked like it was the same build type sheet front, like if you flip it over, it was the same on the back and on the front. So it didn't look like there were two different type build tech sheets. And this kind of looks like it's not a peel off sheet on this one. You would have to buy a whole new spring sheet. So I don't know what type build sheet this is supposed to be. I'll have to look on it. And some people say you're supposed to put glue stick on, but a lot of people say using glue stick is for you to have a release agent, making it easier, meaning making it easier to release your 3D prints. In my case, I found on my bed slinger that if I got the bed level, as I talked about before, or in another video, if I take the segment and put it in another video, that I didn't need glue stick for that purpose. I needed glue stick sometimes to make it stick better, but not to release better. But it depends on what stage I was in my 3D printing business, because I did have times to where on one printer or one upgrade to my printer, I'm pausing so you can hear the sound of the motors. Yep, and just you can see from this whether you want to spend the time to watch, but you can see from this that you just want to let it go, and it looks like here it's paused and maybe it broke. You never know on a new printer until you know what the process is, whether it's just doing nothing. It really doesn't, right now, it doesn't have anything on the screen to denote like percentage being done with each step, which is kind of nice because you know at least it's doing something, and it's not stuck. I had a lot of times in software and so forth that it would just, it would get stuck, and then you would go for about 10, 15 minutes. Then you'd have to decide whether to cancel the process, whether that was installing something or something else. And so it's nice to know if it's still actually working. So that would be kind of a nice upgrade if it could go through the process, but tell you the percentage of completion. Either a bar that goes across the screen or a wheel that shows percentage, but something so to know. And right here you might be able to see tape or something, so I'll have to wipe that off. Residue. So sweeping XY mesh made. Okay, and now it's due to the next part, which is motor noise calibration. Hopefully, this step, 15 minutes, I would kind of hate to have to do this every single time I print. You have to go through this because that's 15 minutes added to your print time. That's considerable. Like when I did just the probing of the bed with my other printer, it would take, I don't know, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, but that's not too bad. But 15 is getting up there in print time if I had to do this every time. So hopefully I only have to do this once in a while. But these are the things that a lot of the online printer people don't tell you. Or at least some may tell you, so I'll give them credit. But the ones that I watch, most of them, they don't tell you these things. Like, they tell you just the stuff that's flashy. Occasionally, you'll get a printer person that will tell you something that's actually useful, and you follow that person because they're useful. There's a guy, I was just watching, so you'd think I would remember the name of his channel, that is really good with the Bambu Labs and is teaching me a lot. I just watched like 3 or 4 of his videos figuring out how to use Bambu Studio. So I just found out that by looking at the software, not by watching a video, but that there's Bambu Studio. I don't know if they make it, but anyway, there's an AI that's supposed to take a 2D print and make an object, if you do a close-up of an object, to 3D. And I did that, but I have to figure out, I'm going to try to go to the same place on my Mac, M1 Max computer opposed to my iPad. It said I needed a computer, but sometimes I can download it on my browser on my iPad, and it works fine in downloading. I couldn't get the .3mf file. It seemed to download, but then I couldn't get it to load in any of my software or figure out how to drag and drop it into Bambu Studio in order to get it to work. So I'm figuring out, I have to figure out that, but it was pretty cool because I think it's a little tiny square, so I couldn't really look at it. But it looked like it made a model of a couple of things. My sister's dog from a picture, and my brother, he has a boat picture. So so if it actually made a full model out of it that I can cut and do different things on, because I wanted to make a couple of things from his boat picture, and I was going to design it myself, but I would have to learn, which I was learning, construction, boat construction pretty much, on hull construction in order to get it to work, which is takes a long time. So I don't know. So AI, to be able to do it in AI and have it float and everything. And then if I could edit it so I could then put RC waterproof accessories in it and make it into a RC boat, that would really be cool. That's what I wanted to do for the last like 2-3 years. But I was unable to get a printer to print consistently enough to ever get it printed out for him. I have to still work on the design part because I had other designs I wanted to do first. A tennis industry design I have that I don't want to divulge the type, and then if I want to manufacture it, and other stuff. So let's just listen to the sound. Okay, I came back after I put a external battery on my phone. Let me straighten it up a little bit. There, it's a little straighter now. I'm going to take my mic off and put it next to the printer so you can hear the sound. I'm figuring out where I can hook it if you hear any noise. I'm just setting it on the little table I made down below. Let me open the door. I would say it's still pretty noisy when it was doing that calibration. I wouldn't say it's noxiously, I can never say those words, but overly, I guess maybe it completed. So I don't know if it's overly loud. I mean, you do hear the running of the motors pretty loud in the whirling, but that sound isn't as bad as some other sounds. So maybe it knocked down the frequencies a little bit.